Hey guys, this is going to be my coming out story. I'm going to retell it because the live version really sucked. So, I'm going to start from the beginning. When I was 5, I knew I was gay. There was no denying it. I knew it. There was obvious attraction. I already had a guy I liked. And so I got, you know, to thinking I'm different. And I thought that all the way up until middle school. And in middle school, when, hormones are raging and puberty, I was like, man, that guy's really hot. Ooh, yeah, definitely. That's what I was thinking. And it didn't go away. Obviously, it didn't go away. And then in high school, I really knew I was gay. By sophomore year, I knew I was gay and there was no hiding it. But I hid it anyway. And that was unfortunate for me because I could have really had a lot of friends had I came out in high school. Now, I did have a few friends, and I told them that I was bi, and they were okay with it and they didn't care. But I kind of got freaked out because, like, I was so worried, even for people to think that I was bi. So it really did, I don't know, left me confused. And I was searching for years to make sure I was 100% gay because I thought for a while that I was possibly bi, um, or I just didn't want to accept that I was gay. But I knew I was gay deep down. I just didn't want to accept it. I couldn't bring my mom to have that sort of what I thought would be shame because my older brother is gay and my mom accepts him and she's okay with that. But at the same time, I knew she wanted grandkids, and I know that she wanted me to have a wife and all these plans, and I was just going to shatter that. So I didn't tell her for years. And just last year, I moved out of the house, and being on my own, and with my best friend, but being on my own practically, I learned to accept who I was and I made more friends, and I wasn't ashamed anymore. And I realized that it was time for me to come out, and so I did. So it was at like 9 o'clock at night, and it was on like a Tuesday, and I was so nervous, and I was just sitting there going, "Oh my God, is she gonna pick up? Is she gonna pick up?" And of course, she doesn't pick up. My grandma picks up, and she's like, "What's wrong? I hear something in your voice." And I'm like, "Oh no, nothing, nothing at all." And so she's like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, can I talk to Mama?" And she's like, "Okay, sure." She's in, the living room watching TV. So I'm like, "Oh, great. She's in here watching TV." So I'll call my mom. She picks up the phone after my grandma's given it to her. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Nothing much." And she's like, "Nothing much either here." And we start chit-chatting and chittering and chattering and talking about, for a god-awful reason, I don't know why, an America's Got Talent episode. And I don't even watch that show. I really don't. So it was kind of funny. We're sitting here talking about a show I don't even watch. And then towards, I guess when it went off, I was like, "Hey, Mom, can you talk to me? Like, I need your undivided attention. I have something to tell you." And so my mom was like, "Okay, well, what is it?" And I was like, "Well, there's something I've been struggling with forever. It's the reason I don't sleep at night. It's the reason I've been depressed. It's the reason that I don't really have a lot of friends." And I was like, "Mom, uh, I was stuttering. I was like, "Mom, I, I, I don't like girls." And my mom's like, "What was that? I didn't hear you." I don't know if she actually heard me or if she was pretending not to hear me because she didn't want to hear that. And so I repeated it. I said, Mom, I don't like girls. And she goes, well, your brother and sister have always told me that. I'm like, seriously? Not the reaction I was expecting. And so my mom is like, all like, oh, well, I don't want that for you. And, I just always thought you were a loner and that you would always be, to yourself. And I didn't really think that you would be gay. And she's like, I think your older brother calls that. And I'm like, no, Mom. I was like, I was born this way and I've always been gay. And so my mom just completely and utterly just sidetracked and started crying and getting me emotional and was saying random stuff. She was thinking about herself more than she was thinking about me, and it kind of hurt. And at the same time, I was glad she didn't hate me, but at the same time, I was kind of upset that at the same time that she didn't really want to say that she approved. I mean, she kind of said, well, I'm not going to tell anyone, and I don't think you should tell anyone else. So she kind of wanted me to still figure things out. And I told her, look, I've had all these years to figure it out, so I know I am. And so my mom's like, okay. And we don't really talk about it for a couple of days at all. And then one day out of the blue, she calls me and we're talking, and she's like, well, does your roommate know? I'm like, no what? And she's like, what you told me the other day. And I was like, yes, Mom, he knows. I live with him. He better know. And so, you know, we're on good terms now. Me and my mom are on really good terms. She knows I'm gay. My whole family knows I'm gay. And she doesn't care. Now, my dad completely blew me out of the water. Because I decided, you know, after about a month and a half of being, openly gay to my mom and my sister, which I called right after my mom. Yeah. My sister was like, oh, it's so cool. I don't care. I was like, okay, whatever. And then my dad calls me out of the blue because I put a Facebook post saying, I've hid this for so long. I'm tired of hiding. I don't want to hide anymore. I'm gay. A bunch of friends commented. People, oh, yay, I love you. Thank you. I'm happy for you. And then the next day, I get a phone call from my dad. And my dad calls me and he's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, starts chitter chattering and he's like, well, after probably about 10 minutes of talking, he's like, well, I seen your Facebook post. And I was like, um, he said, yeah, son, I wanted to let you know that I love you no matter what. And just because you're gay doesn't mean that I won't love you. He said that I love you no matter what. This doesn't change the way I feel about you, and I've always known. And I was like, wow, you could have told me this before. And see, look at me getting all emotional. And he's like, it's okay, son. He's like, I love you. I really do. He's like, and I want you to be happy, and I want you to know that I'm here to support you. And if you ever need help, or you ever want to talk about anything, just call me and I'll listen and I'll be there for you. And that has meant the most to me of anybody in my family because I've never had somebody just say, I love you, I don't care, and if you need help, call me. And so I've really been blessed that my family loves me and cares for me, and my friends have fully endorsed me and they love me, and I'm just like the center of attention to them. But at the same time, there's difficulties every day. And the It Gets Better project may have told you that the minute you sling open those closet doors and walk out, that it gets better. Well, it's not the minute after you step out those doors. Trust me, I came swinging and knocked those doors way off the hinges and haven't looked back. My life has gotten better, but it takes time. It's not going to be tomorrow your parents are going to forgive you, they're going to love you, and they're going to pat you on the back and say, "Good job, son," or "Good job, daughter," or whatever. Your family loves you no matter what. Just remember that if you are thinking about coming out to them, that you should pick the right moment. Don't pick a random time when they're busy or they don't have time to talk to you whatsoever or they're at work. You want to be able to sit down and talk to them. Now, I regret telling my parents over the phone, but at the same time, I don't because I live like 45 miles away from just my mom and like 90 from my dad. So, of course, that's too long of a distance for me to drive just to sit down for 10 minutes and say, "Mom, I'm gay," or "Dad, I'm gay." And I really think now looking back on it that I should have came out a long time ago. And a lot of people will tell you, "Oh, you're too young to come out," and all this. You're never too young to come out. Do you see straight people waiting to have girlfriends and stuff? No, not at all. So be yourself every single day, no matter what anyone says. You're gay, then so be it. And that's it for my story. If you'd like to know more, message me. If you'd like to see specifics of the live coming out, I have the video on my channel. It's kind of crappy, but I hope you watch it anyways if you want to. But this is just a shorter, better version. And thanks, guys, and I hope you subscribe. Bye.